Oye, ¿qué pasó? Blackout, blackout.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you guys for joining me for First Impressions. First Impressions generally mean that I go back to check out some reactions that I've done before and skip over the reaction and go straight to the review. My first impressions of the movie. Today we're going to be reviewing a movie, or going straight to the review of a movie I did when I first started the channel, Field of Dreams. It's an early cut and the first time I've ever done a reaction. So I'm going to go straight to the first impression, and I'm also going to give you my thoughts afterwards to talk about my editing process, what's changed since then, and my thoughts of it now since I've done it about 2 or 3 years ago. So let's get to the first impressions. Here we go. Hey guys, thank you guys again for joining me again. This is First Impressions, again, where we get to skip the reactions. We get to skip, again, you don't have time to watch 20, 30-minute reactions, so we go straight to the reaction, or straight to the first impression. My thoughts on the movie as soon as the movie ends. This is what happened about 2 or 3 years ago when I finished recording my reaction to Field of Dreams. This was my exact thoughts when the movie ended. Now, I will tell you, this was one of my first edits, so I'm not embarrassed about the edits because you always learn and grow, but it is one of my early videos and is one of my most successful videos, and is the first time I've ever seen the movie. So these are my thoughts immediately following that recording. So the minute that the movie ended, this is exactly what I was thinking at that moment in time. I'm going to go right to it from the video. You get to see it, and then I'm going to come right back and tell you exactly what I think today and what that editing process felt like and how I feel about the movie. So again, this is going to be a fun trip. So we're going to get right into it. So before we do, guys, before we get to that, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, you like this channel, help the channel grow. Again, that's all I'll get into. All right, let's get to the first impressions of Field of Dreams 2 or 3 years ago. Here we go. Certainly didn't expect to get this emotional.
You want to have a catch?
That's it. That's the movie there. If you watch the reaction from beginning to end, so you get to the point where I'm kind of questioning the boundaries, right? And I don't think I let go of just enjoying the story. So I think, they have this says here on the credits, the voice himself. So I think this, for me, requires probably more than this one viewing, but I see now why people think it's a classic movie. I see why, baseball, people who love baseball love this movie. And it really is, it's a weird story, full of fantasy. You got to suspend disbelief, obviously. You're dealing with ghosts and things like that. But in the end, I didn't expect to get choked up at the end. I expect to get as involved emotionally as I did. One, first of all, the reveal of the guy at the end, the rookie. I had a feeling he was somebody, just didn't know it was going to be Chisholm, right? And then I kept thinking this is for his dad, right? Like in the back of my mind, it's okay. He's doing this. There's these moments that he never had with his father, and so looking at that part, I just kept thinking how was his father built in, and then the reveal of his father being the catcher. And him having a catch with him is just a magical movie moment. It sort of wraps everything up and encompasses everything of the movie. I see now why people got emotional and choked up when they watched the Yankees game the other day, or a couple weeks ago, where they did the Field of Dreams game, because it brings back those memories. A lot of it has to do with reconciling with family members. Not saying the last things you want to say to them, and so it sort of hits close to home. So definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. So I am thoroughly embarrassed that I have not seen this before. Thoroughly embarrassed that this is something that I had missed. And I can't believe I waited this long to see this movie. Again, being a baseball coach, having kids who play baseball, thought for sure I had seen it all. And while there's not a whole lot of baseball in the movie, definitely goes to the core of what baseball is. The memories and the pastime that you spend with family members is is amazing. It's amazing, and that's why it makes, you know, baseball one of the great games of all time. All right, that's my reaction, and that's my full review of the movie. I thought the movie was excellent. I'm ashamed that I haven't seen it earlier. All right, so as you've seen, that's my first impression of Field of Dreams. Again, it struck me to the core. It hit me hard. Unfortunately, for me, it wasn't the father figure. It was really my mother, who had passed. And really, it helped me sort of appreciate, helped me find an appreciation for, the regret, right? This movie is a powerful movie. It is a quirky movie. I don't know what I was expecting at first when I first watched it. Now I've since watched it several times over, both in the first time watch, in the edit, and then subsequently I've watched it now on my own. And I've watched reactors watch it. I've become obsessed with this movie. It is a movie that speaks to, coming back to regrets and saying things to family members that you want to say at the time. And again, I bring it back to my mother. I lost my mother at a very young age. And so there's things that I've always wanted to say. This movie has just been like ingrained in my heart. When I first did the reaction and the review, it was a touching experience. It was, I think, one of the first times I cried on camera, and to me, guys, being emotional is not hard. It's what I do a lot of on this channel, unfortunately, but it has taken me a long time to get to that point. So there's kind of a growth that's happened in this channel with me, not only in the editing style, as you can see, and also my appearance, but it's just something that I find to be so interesting, how over the course of even just 2 years, how things change. So again, I absolutely love this movie. I fell in love with this movie during the reaction. I fell in love with it on the editing process. The edits, and here's what I want to do. I want to come back and try to re-edit this movie. I'm trying to find the footage of the original edit and try to fix it, because unfortunately I was learning about copyrights at the time. And so I got hit pretty hard, and it's a Warner Brothers film, and I had to chop it up hard. And so like I got some comments about some missing scenes and some critical pieces, but I was just learning how to edit for YouTube and reactions, and so it was hard. It was hard to get the video out to you guys, and so that's a challenge in itself. Okay, so again, I hope you guys enjoyed my first impression of it. I wanted to revisit it. I wanted to tell you guys how much I love this movie, how much it's touched me, and kind of give a glimpse back. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, I'll put the link in the description. I'll also link it in the put some cards up here or something, and I'll put it at the end of the video if you guys want to go see it. If you're listening to this on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts, go to the Big Llama Show on YouTube. That's where you'll find me, and you can go to my video library and you'll see a bunch of reactions, but Field of Dreams is there if you want to watch the full reaction. I thought it was an entertaining reaction, but again, it is one of my early cuts, so it is what it is. I learned since then, and I have changed my styles, but absolutely love doing this. So thank you guys so much for joining me on First Impressions. If you like this channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you follow, subscribe, do whatever you're supposed to do so you can see and get more content from me. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining me on First Impressions. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you guys. Be kind, rewind. It's movie night, and we're going to see you guys on the next one.
No! What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
First off, I don't care what you people say. Never follow.